Here we go. Maxiavalanche Auron, round 2 of the championship. Front row start. I did get pipped by Andy here, but I was actually very pleased because after these first few corners, which as you can see are super loose, we're going to go into a huge headwind, which I knew about, and I don't know if Andy knew, but it's coming, and I wanted him in exactly the position he is in at the moment. Horrible hairpin here, so down through the gears. Big slide from both of us, to be honest with you. I did exactly the same, foot out, the most safe way. Now this is the point where I just want to get onto his tail. So the headwind we're going into is about 11 miles an hour, which doesn't sound much, but it's in there. I mean, straight away, as soon as I'm within range, I can just stick on his back wheel. He is braking all of that wind for me. I just take a slightly wider line here just to sort of experiment, but knowing that my exit speed is higher. Quick look behind, see where Tom is. I knew that he'd be with us. And again, you can see my acceleration behind Andy is massive.
Yeah, boy.
And we have a bit of a laugh about it as well. He's not happy that I'm there. My front wheel to his back wheel was overlapping at points because I was just in tuck position here. Andy's pedalling, he's putting the effort in, I'm not. And that was a critical part of the race. So at this point here, Tom is behind me doing exactly the same thing. He wanted to try and get past, but I tried to close the door on him. I can't just let him through. So my defensive line there meant that Andy had a bit of a gap. So again, I just want to close that gap and get onto his back wheel and pick my point to attack, which is imminent. And here we go for it. So at this point here, I want to put in as much power as I possibly can. We've got a big hill climb here, so yes, we are on e-bikes, but there is no motor assistance whatsoever above 20, I think it's 24k, 25k. So when you go above that, the motors are shut off and you're then pedaling what is in effect a heavy bike. So at this point, I really wanted to put in as much distance between myself and Andy as I could before dropping into the technical trail. Loving the grip on the front end through these corners here, and that's the new Schwalbe Tacky Chan. First time riding it this week, really impressed. And this is the point where you don't look down, but it's quite nice for me to look back through the video and look at the sort of the left hand side. You don't want to fall off there, you're not going to back if you make a mistake here. So speed through this section was the high 50k's, and in a couple of bits we go over 60k. A couple of photographers pitch themselves up on the mountain. It's quite nice motivation as well. And there we go, I just have a quick look behind. I try and do that as many times as I can. I just want to know as much information as I can and see where the other riders are, know when I've got to defend, know when I've got to attack. The more information I can get, the better. Some really off-camber, tricky turns here. But the key is the exit on this right-hander here. And that carries the speed all the way down. This is well over 60k now before going into a pedal section. Another quick look over my left-hand shoulder. I knew I had a good gap here and I just wanted to protect that lead. Middle line through here. I did want to try and get up on the fire road as quick as I can. There was a right hand option, but it would have meant super off camber, and when you're in this position you don't want to risk making a slip. If you're behind then you can make those risks, but in this position it's all about defending and just holding position. Love this inside line here. Much steeper in real life than it looks on camera. these hairpins are good because they give me a chance to see back on the trail where the other guys are. Again, exit speed on this one is critical. Digging deep here. Another quick look over my shoulder. You can see that Andy's at probably about 50 yards behind, which is a good distance. It means he can't get my slipstream, and I want to keep it that way. Again, another massively fast section here.
Come on, boys!
Nice little taunt as well to the lads. Make sure that they know that I'm winning and I'm in a comfortable position. It's another mind game. It's not being arrogant, it's just a mind game. Make them know that I'm super comfortable and super happy. If they attack me, it's not going to do anything because I've got plenty of attack strategy for that. Stopping the video at 8 minutes. 3, 2, 1. starting the video at 11 minutes. In 3, 2, 1, go. Slight delay on that. At this point in the race, I'm just actually backing it up. I want the lads to close the gap and get closer to me. And the idea of that is that I'm saving energy and saving everything for the huge sprint that's coming at the end. I know it. Bit of water on the discs creates that squeaky noise. They're not contaminated or anything, it's just the water from the river section. Nice fast bit here, bullet straight down to another hairpin, gives me a good idea to look back. There we go again, and just check. I've got no one coming up, no one's going to try and dive up the right hand side here, up my inside, and I knew that it meant that I could take that line nice. I don't have to worry about taking it in a defensive manner. Again, another little check there, because we're going into a single track section. I'll make sure that everyone's behind. No one's going to try and leap in front just as we go into a single track section. And then through here, I'm just holding pace, but I am backing up now. I'm just trying to reserve those energy levels and get everything ready for what's about to come, because you're going to need to put everything into this sprint if it comes to it. So at this point here, I realised that Tom is behind me now, not Andy, so there's been an overtake behind me, which is critical to the race position overall, because they were the other way round in the first round. It meant that if it stays like this, or if the worst case happens and Tom overtakes me, he cannot win the race overall. I'd still win. So I'm in a fantastic position now that I've got Tom as my buffer between myself and Andy. But that said, I want to win everything this weekend, so I am not going to let anyone pass me.
Fly in the mouth.
Yeah, so I took a fly in the mouth there. That was really nasty. I couldn't get it out, and my mouth was so dry, couldn't really do anything about it. So onto the road. Now this is a big section that not just putting a sprint in being important, but putting a big sprint in to show the other guys that I've still got power, don't bother attacking me. And it worked. So I come up to the hairpin here. I know that in the braking zone, again, I didn't have to take a defensive line, I could take the actual line that I wanted through there. Another little check. So now I know that Tom is closing on me at a reasonable pace. Pumping everything I can to get all of the energy for this big uphill climb. So again, there's no engine motor assistance. We're over that speed that would allow any energy from the engine to be helping those legs. And again, another little check. So now I know he's coming at me, and he's coming at me fast. We've got about 300 metres to go now, maybe 400, and he's closing. As soon as he gets to within a slipstream, that will be a big problem. So here we go. This is where all the training, everything through the winter, working with Dave, really showed here. So I put in a massive sprint. Again, another check, another kick, another sprint into these last few corners. I can see the finish line. At this point, backing off of all of the power and just worrying about a nice technique to sweep through these last few chicanes, get across that line.
Yes!
And that's what it meant to me.
Come on!
Moore devant Thomas Guibal et Andy Fajol. Et voilà, ordre inversé par rapport à...
Incredible feeling. Feel very sorry for Tom, who put in a huge effort there, and Andy, but it's my day, and I've been waiting for this for a long time. And there's Andy, superb rider. He's only 20 years old. He's got a massive career ahead of him. Think of the experience and everything I've got compared to him at his age, and he's not far behind at all.
Or Bear Rise. 3 races, 3 wins. I'm so happy. What a bike. It's so damn fast.